Hey guys, it's Owen and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Hey guys, so as you can see I am back from university. My first year is over and I'm ready to spill the tea on university. So today I figured I'd do a little A to Z or A to Z if we're wanting to run with the T's and the Z's today. On all of my best and worst bits of university, and I hope this video is helpful for people if they're going to university next year, or if you've just finished university. I hope you can revel in my joy at all my best moments and also cringe in laughter about all of my tragic moments, and you can learn from them next year. If you're going next year, then you can think, oh, I'm not going to do that because Owen did that and it was the worst thing to do. Yeah, it's been a year. Let's just go. Okay, so to start with, A is anxiety. I was so excited to get to university. It was something that I've been waiting for a long time. I think a bit of change, moving away from home, being in a flat, and if anything my expectations were a little bit too high, I think. But I must say the first few weeks I did feel really anxious. I remember getting into my accommodation and it just not feeling the same as what I thought it would. I didn't get along with my flat as well as I thought I would, not because they were not nice people, it's just that we were very different in personalities. I think that they were looking for people a little bit more cool than me, and as you know from my channel already, I don't fit that very much. I met some really nice people in my first week, but it wasn't until much later on that I actually found my close friends. Okay, so be yourself. I think this is one of the first sort of lessons that I learned at university, is that it's so important to be yourself and not try and mould yourself to fit other people. In the first few weeks and the first couple months, mainly the first term of university, I kept on swapping groups. I moved from one group to the next, and it wasn't that they weren't nice people, it's just that I never really saw myself as being part of the group. One of my friends, Gordon, who I met in the first couple of weeks, started to speak to me and say, Owen, sort of maybe it's you rather than everybody else. And maybe Gordon was right to an extent. However, I think myself, you are wrong, Gordon, because if I felt like I wasn't really feeling a good vibe, then I would move groups. And I think that's something you should take into university. You shouldn't try and settle. Gordon, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Okay, the next letter is C, and this stands for my course. Now, this is actually in the first couple of weeks the only thing that was stable in my life, I think. I was going through so many different friendship groups and struggling quite a lot that I was really lucky to actually love my course. I didn't have that many friends though at this point, so this is where it was starting to get a little bit filled with drama, which is letter D, of course. That transition, so good. So as I already said, throughout this whole period I was swapping groups a lot. I didn't feel like I fit in, and it wasn't until sort of nearly the end of term one I felt like I truly fit in, and I met a group of 3 girls. So I met these 3 girls and I really got along with them, really hit it off, and we had such a good couple of weeks. I was having such a much better time at university because I felt like I was properly in a group. One of the girls I really became close friends with, and this is where uni started to go even worse than it already was. I like anybody does, I made sort of a sarcastic comment. I don't think she really took it very well. Anyhow, she started to not include me in groups with the other 2 girls, and she blocked me on her Twitter. It was such a shame because we really got along. And every time I would confront her, she would always sort of back away and be like, no, it's not you, it's me, don't worry, I've just got stuff going on. You know, those type of people. If you're one of those people, I'm clocking you right now, because I hate it when people put it on you as if you're being like insecure and paranoid. I've been through enough of insecurities and paranoia to know when I'm right in this person is not treating me how I should be treated. I don't know the word. E is end. I started to feel like this was the end of university. I'd started to give up. I felt like very depressed and very like this is over. I had been searching for these friendship groups, for this perfect group for so long, and I thought I had properly found it, and then it sort of had all gone to poo in a nice way. It all gone to shit basically, and I was like, what am I going to do now? I remember distinctly sitting in badminton, because I did badminton society, and just sitting there alone and thinking, I don't want to be here at all. I don't want to be at university. Luckily Christmas was around the corner, so I got some time to reflect and go home. Happy Christmas. So now we hit letter F, fitting in. I think I realised coming away from university that I was trying to fit in so much. It wasn't really until I stopped trying that the friends came to me. If you are going to university or going into your first year this year, something you should learn is you don't need to fit in so much. G is growth, which is the next little top tip lesson that I learned, is that I would grow so much at university. I do know more who I am and what I represent. Highlights, because I got my hair highlighted at university, and I know it's a bit silly, but I do feel like it sort of represented me growing as a person and, you know, trying to find my identity. And I do think that's really important in university, that you take bold moves and go for it. And I've always wanted to dye my hair, so I just went and did it. This is just a quick one. H, we love some highlights. We do. I stands for Intoxicated, and here's a little montage of me being intoxicated in university. I hope you have fun watching this, because I'm certainly not going to.
Oh, she's got rhythm. Oh, she's good.
So J stands for James Owen Court, and I feel like this is my biggest turning point in university. So James Owen Court was another accommodation away from my own, where I ended up meeting sort of probably some of my biggest friends at university. And I met a friend through a society called Amy, and I asked her if she would introduce me to her flat. We did it, nailed it on the head. I met them, I really got along with them. I felt so much more at home, and James Owen Court sort of became my safe space, as some would like to call it. I don't know, I really felt happy when I got to James Owen Court. But I met some really close friends at James Owen Court. I met one of my best friends, Poppy. I met another best friend, Amy, as I said. A close friend, Ruse. I met Chris and lots of other people. If it's not going to plan where you are right now, don't stress, because you will find other people in other places that are completely unexpected. I mean, I'd never heard of James Owen. I've heard of Owen because it's my name, but James Owen Court before I met Amy. So la-da-da, here we are. So I had made some progress in friends outside of my course and sort of in an accommodation way, but K stands for Kath and Ed, who are another two closest, bestest friends that I met at university. They both sort of, I met or got closer to through my course. We shared a lot of really good memories with each other, and we sort of became a nice little trio. I mean, Kath was so lovely that she got me a pillow of her face zoomed in for my birthday, so thanks for that, Kath. I'm getting you your exposure here.
Hello, Owen's friends and fans.
So L stands for Love You, and Love You is the name of the group chat of my accommodation friends, which I finally met come second term. So again, if you're going into university, don't stress you have to find all your friends in first term. I met this group through Alice, who was one of the girls who was involved with the, you know, drama. She was the one that stayed close to me. We stayed friends, and we revised solidly through January, so that got us closer. But she eventually introduced me to a group which consisted of Anya, Camilla, Helena, Teresa and Tom, and I'm really thankful to have met them, because they again made my university experience so much better. I've shared some really good memories with them. They've been in a couple of my videos if you've checked that out. M stands for Memories. One of them is my friend Ed, as I said, is in a band called Pedrick, and he performed in Pedrick at a sort of event called Battle of the Bands, a competition style thing, and I had so much fun there because I had all of my friends together supporting Ed in this little band. Another one is with Camilla and Helena. We watched Eurovision together, and that was, you know, obviously very cringy but also very entertaining. I also had a David Bowie night with Amy. We dressed up as David Bowie, and I bought a long sort of red jacket which I wore, which Poppy decided to steal and struck down James Owen Court with.
Oh my god, to the left, swing to the right, drop it down low and take it back high. Bitch, I don't need introduction, follow my simple instruction.
N stands for No Longer a Fresher. I became a student ambassador. I became head of marketing at the radio station Expression FM, so I felt like I could exert some power across the university, which, I mean, I can't really do until next year, but until then I'm gonna work out the best ways that I can possibly exert my power over all of the freshers next year, because I'm no longer a fresher. O stands for Owen's top moment, and I'm gonna say my top moment was when I went for a picnic for my birthday. I know it sounds really self-centered. I don't mean because it was my birthday, I just mean that all of my friends would put together photo shoots and pictures, and if you know me, then you know that I take a lot of pictures. Q stands for quiet, and I feel like I definitely found a different side of myself at university. I've always been someone who's quite confident and extroverted, but I do think there was times that I really realised that I can be quite introverted. I think during like the revision periods I I tended to shut myself away and not go out as much. Revision was absolutely horrible, obviously, but I remember some really good memories of me and my friends, specifically Alice, sort of eating popcorn and messing around. Results-wise, I did pretty well in first term. I actually got 3 firsts, but I tell everyone it's because I had no friends, and so we'll see what happens in second term. It's probably not going to be as good because everyone distracted me, so thank you for that, everybody. So S stands for snow, and in March there was an unexpected fuck ton of snow that landed onto Exeter, the maybe funnest couple of days that I've had at uni, and it's definitely another highlight of mine. T is time, which is another lesson that I learned, is that you don't necessarily need things to come all at once. And at university, more than anything, it does take time for you to settle in. It takes time for you to adjust and find the friends that you want. And if anything, I'd say if you're going into university this year, don't expect everything to come all at once, because it's going to take its sweet ass time. Once you get past freshers, your friends change so quickly. You might stay with them, but ultimately things will change and connections are going to change. It's funny how many international friends I actually made. Camilla, who lives in the Netherlands, Teresa, who lives in Portugal. I had Anya, who lives in Turkey. Helena lives in the north, which is a whole different situation. And then Ed lives in Australia. I was always worried about whether I'd find friends that would replace friends from home, but actually I found friends who I feel like fill that gap that I needed. You might even find a friend who, you know, blows up their face as a pillow, which is just fantastic. V stands for vibes, all of the best tunes and things that I danced to over the year.
My.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique,
I don't know.
Die kenne ich nicht.
W stands for who are you. This sort of links to that whole cliche about university is about finding yourself, but I definitely think that I've learned a lot more about myself and the people that I want to hang around with. X stands for Expression FM, which is the student radio that I joined, and probably one of my highlights of the year in terms of joining, because I got to do so many amazing things. I did a radio show from 2 to 4 a.m. with my friend Lottie, and I hosted an amazing show with my friend Amy, who I already mentioned, called Live at 2, which we had so many fun memories of, and it's been an amazing year. We even won an award in the ball, and I think we were one of the only freshers to win an award, so it was a lot of fun. I'm going to go promo my award. I mean, come on, like, all this beauty, look at all this beauty. It's so glorious. Getting near the end, Y stands for year 2, and sort of some aspirations that I have for next year. I'm really excited to be in a house next year. Obviously, I've been in halls this year, but I haven't really been close to my flat, so I'm a little bit nervous about how much I'm going to be distracted over the next year, and I'm pretty sure that my grades are going to go woo, but let's hope not. The last letter, I was about to say number, is Z, and Z stands for zooming by, because university is honestly zoomed by. If you finished first year like me, then you probably are in agreement that it feels like it's gone so quickly, and I'm a little bit scared for how quickly it's going to continue to go. I feel like if you're going into first year, then all I can say for you, like the biggest tip that I can say, is just make the most out of every moment. So many opportunities at university, so you should just grab hold of every single one of them. On the winning streak all the way to the end of my degree. Oh my god, it's going to be over before I know it. Okay. That was my A to Z university experience. The first year is over. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. If you're also finishing first year, then let me know down below what your favourite moment was. Show me support and love. I need your love. Thank you guys so much for watching, so make sure to subscribe down below and check out my other videos at the end. I do lots of fun things. Said nobody.